be in a horse race. You gotta wait till go. Got it. Good evening. Welcome to the City of Sugar Land City Council meeting for Tuesday, June the 6th. You can tell we've changed the sound system. A little bit about our agenda tonight. In a minute, Stuart's going to lead us in the invocation, and then he's going to introduce some special guests that we have, and they're going to lead us in the pledge to the nation's flag and the pledge to the Texas flag. And then we're going to have 3 special recognitions. So, Stuart, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Would you please join me? God, thank you for the gift of life and the opportunity to serve the people of our city. Help us to act with character and conviction. Help us to listen with understanding and goodwill. Help us to speak with charity and restraint. Give us a spirit of service. Protect those who risk their own safety for ours. Imbue us with the strength to build a community worthy of the human person. We ask this in the name by which each of us knows you. Amen. And I'd like to invite the Sugar Land Leaders class of 2023 to come forward. And also, Dr. Rashmi Shah is going to lead us in the pledge. Should I wait for later for them to come forward? Yeah, everybody come on forward. Come on, everybody. Sugar Land Leaders, come forward. Dr. Shah, it's all yours when you are ready.
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which we stand, one nation, one God, indivisible, and just for all. And to honor Texas flag, honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a very special recognition tonight. I'm going to ask Michelle Wu, Nicole Wu, Isabella Wu, La Wu, Jun Gong, and friends Jesse Fan, Runyon Zhu, Olivia Gary, Anna Lynn, Delaney Robertson, Malaya Simino, Sophia Quintero, and Olivia Liu, if you could join me up front. I surprised you. Yeah, a bunch of them were saying, uh-oh. There we go. Audio, we got a little audio issue. Nicole, why not get you to stand up? There you go. Kind of everybody spread around. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to give you some highlights, but I'm going to let this pretty amazing young lady tell her own story. So she's a recent Clemens High School graduate and was named the 2023 Distinguished Young Woman of Texas, receiving a $2,500 scholarship during a statewide scholarship program for high school ladies. During the state competition, she won the scholastics and talent portions of the program and was one of only 11 high school senior girls from Texas who competed for an opportunity to represent the state as the 2023 Distinguished Young Woman of America. In this role, she'll represent Texas at various public events and serve as a role model to young women by spreading the program's national outreach message of Be Your Best Self. Now let me introduce to you Nicole Wu.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicole, the 2023 Distinguished Young Woman of Texas, and it is a great honor to be standing here today. Only last week was I throwing my cap in the air as my friends and I graduated from high school. Some of us were sad to be leaving our friends and family. Some were relieved to finally make our own decisions as independent, responsible young adults. And maybe some, like me, had mixed feelings. But at that moment, I reflected on my life, my high school journey, and everything I had gone through thus far. And I realized something special I hope to share with you today. And I ask everyone in this room and everyone watching live to do this with me together. Close your eyes and think about the past year. Think about something you had to face that was unexpected or challenging, or a new experience you decided to undertake. Maybe you succeeded and maybe you didn't, but you learned something. That new skill, new interest, or new understanding is now forever yours. Open your eyes and look at the people around you. Each of us hold wisdom to share that can make a difference in your life because it made a difference in theirs. That special learning experience is something you can share without losing. You are someone who can make an impact. So what was that special thing I realized? It's that we do things because we feel inspired by someone, and I want to be that someone. My awards in science, in dance, academics, and service are similar to this recognition in that its purpose, in my eyes, is not for me, but to show other people that they can and will achieve anything they set their mind to. I'm here today to celebrate all the people out here who inspired someone to try something new, to develop or grow an interest, to speak their voice. We all have something special to contribute, a vision for our community. And I'm here to encourage you to use your talents and your knowledge to be someone who inspires. And with that, I would like to give a few thank yous. Thank you to Leslie, Bree, and Katie for giving me the best guidance in my preparation for nationals and for dedicating your time to giving young girls this great experience to learn. Thank you to my family and my friends who came out here to support me today and for inspiring me each in a different way. Thank you to my mentors and my teachers for believing in me and giving me the opportunities to challenge myself. Thank you to Mr. Mayor, Mr. Zimmerman, our council members, especially Ms. McCutcheon, and the FBISD board president, Ms. Day, for giving me this great honor to stand here today. I am beyond excited to be representing Sugar Land and Texas at the Distinguished Young Women National Competition next week in Alabama. Thank you, and remember, you can make a difference in someone's life.
We've got a certificate of recognition. I'm going to read this. This certificate of recognition is presented to Nicole Wu, who is the 2023 State of Texas representative for the Distinguished Young Women. The Distinguished Young Women is part of a national scholarship program that promotes and rewards scholarship, leadership, and talent in young women. Participants are evaluated on the categories of scholastics, 25%, interview, 25%, talent, 20%, fitness, 15%, and self-expression, 15%. Nicole won the scholastics and talent portion of the competition and has been very excited to represent our state as the Distinguished Young Woman of Texas 2023. In June, she will be advancing to nationals with 49 other representatives. Nicole was joined by accomplished and talented girls across Texas, attending workshops with speakers, volunteering with Kids Meal, and learning important skills such as public speaking and two-step CPR. Nicole hopes to use this platform to inspire people to use their unique talents and passions to find a voice and be a leader in their community. And this is on behalf of myself as mayor and the members of City Council. Nicole, congratulations. Council members, if Mike,
I'm gonna count you guys down. 3, 2. Oh, sorry, Mayor, I almost forgot you. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
our next recognition is the Kempner High School Texas Department of Transportation 2023 Aviation Art Project. And I'm gonna ask Elizabeth Rosenbaum, Beth, our Director of Aviation, and Mitchell Davies, our Deputy Director of Aviation, to join me at the front. And then I'm going to let Beth, I'm going to let you introduce this.
Okay. If we could have Nicholas Baronas and Isabella Teddy come up.
If you want your family to come with you, that's fine too. We're big on family around here.
So I'm going to start off and just share a little bit about the contest. The theme for the 2022 Aviation Art Contest was air sports and environment. And the students were challenged to illustrate ways air sports can interact harmoniously with the environment. They were asked, how can air sports help inspire others to protect the earth? How innovation and technology can use greener fuels to power aircraft? Can the natural wonders of the earth inspire the aviation of the future? And how can aviation be involved in reducing, reusing, and recycling? The goal of the contest is to introduce aviation and encourage children to study aeronautics, engineering, and science. And within this contest, there's actually 3 different levels. The first is schools will submit this to the State Aeronautical Office, and the judging will be done at the state level at TxDOT Aviation. And this year, 91 entries were submitted. The next level for the winners that were selected will actually go to the national level in Washington, D.C., and from there, it will be an international contest. And with that, I'm going to pass the mic to Mitch.
Thank you, Beth, and thank you, Mayor. So it was about a month and a half ago, me, Beth, our Assistant Director, Ken, he's not here, and the Mayor, we were at the TxDOT Aviation Conference in Galveston, and we're having lunch, I think, and they're announcing the winners for this art program. And we hear Kempner, and we're like, isn't that in Sugar Land? Yeah, that's sure. It's a whole statewide thing, and so we heard Kempner and Sugar Land, and we're like, whoa, that's really cool. We were really excited. We're really excited to see 3 students. We had Iris that was also part of this. She wasn't able to make it tonight, but very proud of Nicholas and Isabella. We're very happy. Us from the airport, we don't get too many opportunities to recognize people from the community and residents. So when we had this opportunity and with the mayor, we had to jump on it. We appreciate City Council and Mr. Goodrum being here to help recognize these students, to really showcase the talent that there is within the community, especially within the young people. And we also are very passionate about aviation, so when we get to recognize students in the community for aviation related, we're very happy to do so. And so at this time, I think, Nicholas, did you want to just share a few thoughts on your art?
So the prompt was how air sports can relate to the environment and environmental sustainability. So in my piece, the first one over there, I decided to show it through caterpillars, how caterpillars can how caterpillars can partake in their own form of air sports. And so yeah, I just thought that was a really fun way of showing it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Again, I want to thank Nicholas and Isabella for their hard work being recognized. Wish you best of luck in the future competitions. And we look forward to seeing all the great work that you all are capable of doing, whether it's art or anything in your future. You all have bright futures ahead of you, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'll turn the timer back to Mayor.
Bella, would you like to say a few words? No. Let me, Nicholas, if you'd step forward, please. We've got a certificate of recognition. I'm going to read that. This certificate of recognition is presented to Nicholas Briones for winning first place in the statewide TxDOT Aviation Art contest in Category 3, ages 14 through 17. Nicholas is a 9th grade, all-A honor roll student at Kempner High School. In addition to the Aviation Art Award, Nicholas has honors in biology, art, Spanish, and geometry. He is the treasurer of the National Junior Honor Society at school and a volunteer within the community. With his artwork, Nicholas has been able to stand out from the crowd thanks to his hard work and dedication. His work has also highlighted his creative potential and encouraged others to follow their own creative interests and modes of self-expression. Nicholas, congratulations. Isabella, if you could step forward. I want to ask you to speak. A certificate of recognition. This certificate of recognition is presented to Isabella Teddy, a 9th grader at Kempner High School who placed 3rd in the statewide TxDOT Aviation Art Contest. Isabella's work stood out among the other entries as the judges recognized the value and originality of her artistic vision. Her artwork contributes to the boost of the community pride and highlights the creative talent within our community. Isabella has achieved various accolades throughout her academic career. She is an honor roll student and placed 2nd at the 2023 Houston Rodeo Art Contest. Today, Isabella's artwork is celebrated as an inspiration to others to pursue their creative passions and self-expression. Isabella, congratulations. And then if I could have you stand right up here. Come on, up here with your parents. And, oh yeah, yeah. Are they here? Yes. Oh yeah, I didn't know TxDOT was here. Come on up.
Stephanie, Becky.
Oh, there's Stephanie. I didn't even see Stephanie. You're incognito back there. I should have had you guys introduce them. Here, you guys stand up front with the students. And council, if you guys would come around, Beth, if you could get up here with them. Mitch, don't be shy. Come on, you guys don't do this very often, I know.
Count you guys down. 3, 2, 1.
We didn't introduce the principal. Could you guys come up? Please, come on. Come on. Introduce yourselves and all you do for us.
Hi, first of all, I want to introduce, this is Miss Mendiola. She leads our art department at Kempner High School. She does amazing work with our students along with her teaching partner. And I just want to brag on her because at Kempner High School, the land of sunshine and greatness, greatness means equity and access to opportunities to be great. And I really had conversations with her about how many opportunities could we give our students. And she increased the amount of opportunities, and it's not about winning. It's just about opportunities for their creativity to shine. So we're super proud of our students. We're also super proud of our teachers who give those students those opportunities. And thank you to the city. We're very proud to represent Kempner, again, the land of sunshine and greatness. Thank you for having us.
Don't go away. So let's get everybody back up for a picture. Come on. Stephanie, Beth, Mitch, come on, everybody back up for a picture. Got to get it with the principal and the art teacher. Come on, we got to. Come on, counsel.
Count you down again. 3, 2, 1.
Last but not least, we have our Sugarland Leaders Program 2023. And I'm going to ask Jennifer Williams, the director of the program, our community engagement manager, and Sugarland Leaders class of 2023. And I'm going to ask you to bring them up. And then if you'd like to say a few words, and I know you would. Come on up.
Thank you very much. So tonight I'm presenting our cohort fellows for the 2023 Sugarland Leaders to council to be recognized. They spent 6 months with us and learned quite a few things about what we do as a city. We had some amazing staff members, leadership, and directors that stepped in to show about all the things that we do for the residents and tried to create an opportunity for them to grow in their leadership skills. We had a consultant by the name of Culture Plus join us. So we would like to thank them for helping us to focus on becoming more inclusive, resilient, and successful. I would also like to thank my team in the Communications and Community Engagement Department for helping me to carry this out. As you all know, this was not my initial program, but I enjoyed every moment with you guys, and I really appreciate the effort that you put into learning about the city. So, Mayor, I would like to recognize them.
Well, I know I got to speak to you early, but I want to congratulate each and every one of you and thank you for your participation in the program. And we look forward to the many contributions that you're going to make, be it on boards, commissions, on city council as mayor, or whatever you choose to do. Council members, if you'll come down, please. If I can get everybody to step up. You want to step there? Better? Okay. Yeah, that might, you guys, there we go.
I'll count you guys down. 3, 2, 1. And let me do one more real quick. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Public comments. Anybody that would like to speak on one of the agenda items that is not a public hearing is invited to do so. We'll give it a few minutes here, so. And if anybody wants to sneak out, they can. What's that? So item number 2 is public comment. Anybody would like to speak on any of the agenda items that's not listed as a public hearing is invited to do so at this time. If you'll come down to the mic in the front, name and address, and which item you'd like to speak on. Anybody? Move on to item number 3, the consent agenda. Item number 3, the consent agenda is going to be taken as one motion unless a council member wants to pull an item, at which time we'll take all the other items as one motion, and then we'll do the item that was pulled. Council members, anybody want to pull an item? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Got a motion by Jacobson. I've got a second by Kermali. If you'll vote at this time, please. And it passes a 7-0 vote. Thank you, council members. Item number 4, appointments. 4A, consideration of an action on an appointment of Joe Zimmerman, Mayor, Stuart Jacobson, Sugar Land 4B Corporation Representative, and William Ferguson, the Sugar Land Development Corporation Director, to the City Council's Economic Development Committee for a term ending May 31st, 2024. I'll make the motion. Second. Suzanne, was that you? Yes, sir. Okay. Then I've got Watley as a second, and if you'd vote at this time, please. And it's a 7-0 vote. Thank you, council members. Item number 5, ordinances and resolutions. 5A, first consideration. Consideration of an action on City of Sugar Land ordinance number 2308, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Sugar Land, Texas, amending Chapter 2 of the Code of Ordinances to provide for an increase in the tax exemption on a resident's homestead and establishing an effective date. And we have with us Ms. Jennifer Brown, our Director of Fiscal Projects. Jennifer.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight we are going to discuss the residential homestead exemption. And if I can get the mouse to work. It's not doing anything. It's not doing anything. Sorry.
No, it's
There
no
we go.
problem. There we
Okay.
go.
Just needed the right touch. I didn't have it, I guess. All right, so this evening we're going to be discussing the homestead exemption for tax year 2023. This graph shows a historical representation of the tax rate shown in the bar chart and the homestead exemptions from over the last almost 25 years, dating back to tax year, fiscal year 2000, and this will be for fiscal year 24. So it's right at 25 years. As you can see, the tax rate has strategic use of the tools in our toolbox, we're able to manage the growth in residential tax bills. So that was kind of like a blurb about all of those 4 points that were there. This chart shows our tax rate, which would be the bars and the numbers over on the left side. On the right side is the growth in the tax roll. The 2023 value that you see there, which is around 18%, is our preliminary tax roll growth for 2023. That has not been eclipsed other than the 2018 values, which came from annexing Greatwood and New Territory. So it is a substantial increase in our preliminary roll. The CAD has given us a estimated reduction of 2.2 billion. That would bring that value down to around 6%. So while we don't anticipate it staying at the 18% growth, that growth raised some eyebrows when we initially got it. And so it got us started thinking about what we need to do to manage the impact on our residents' tax bills. Our values have continued to grow every year, and as our preliminary roll came in, our average home value was up 10%. And as you're aware, residential values are capped at 10%. Our capped value has grown to an extraordinary level. So that tells me that if that cap had not been in place, our values would have continued to grow even more. And so one tool, thank you. One tool that we have to manage the impact to our residents' tax bills is the homestead exemption. The exemption is capped by state law to a maximum of 20%, and we are currently at 13%. So in looking at the homestead exemption, if we did a 2% increase to the homestead exemption, that would buy that 10% average home value down, or the 10% increase to the average residential home bill down to about 7.5%. And that equates to a $32 savings to per household. And as far as revenues, the impact on our revenues is $882,000 at the current tax rate. So while it is a revenue impact, we do believe that without implementing this homestead exemption, that we would be exceeding the 3.5% on our voter approval rate. And so we'd like to target that tax rate reduction to our tax bill reduction to our residents. So that would leave us 5% still out of that 20% to be able to manage our homestead exemptions. So we have policy guidance on this, and historically we have used that in arrears, and the policy actually states that we would go in and make that homestead exemption after seeing a pattern of growth. But this year we felt it was more prudent to be proactive and go ahead and bring that forward to you now, so that we can get that increase in effect for the 2023 tax bills. Just to put in perspective, last year's revaluation, after we increased the homestead exemption 1%, we went from 12 to 13%, we were at 8.5% revaluation. This year we're at 10.7%, and so we will hope to buy that down to about 7.58 or something like that. So, 7.5, 7.6%. So our recommendation is a 2% increase to the homestead exemption based on the preliminary tax roll. This will allow our homeowners to see a tangible benefit this year, and it is consistent with the council's goal of minimizing residential tax bills. This table shows basically shows in table form the chart that I showed you at the very beginning. So we have, since 2007, made a concerted effort every couple of years as we see values go up and they go down. Typically they trend up. Some years are greater than others, and those are the years where you see that we recommended an increase to the homestead exemption. And so far it's worked well for us. It is a valuable tool that we have to be able to manage our residents' tax bills. So we discussed this option with the Finance and Audit Committee at their June 1st meeting, and they agreed with our recommendation. And so we will have 2 readings of this ordinance, and the second reading will be on June 20th, and that will meet the statutory deadline of June 30th for changes to the homestead exemption. That will not, we don't have an impact to the tax rate yet because we don't have all the final values, and so we'll receive the certified tax roll at the end of July, and will be forward with you, to you in August to discuss the proposed tax rate, and that will be formally adopted in September. With that, staff would recommend approval of ordinance number 2308, setting the homestead exemption at 15% for tax year 2023. And with that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Anyone? Nishad?
Jennifer, there was a chart that you had right before the homestead exemptions chart. It had a green line on it, this one
This one?
here. What is the green line again here?
The green line is the growth in the tax roll, the percentage year-over-year growth.
Growth in tax roll, okay. It has nothing to do with tax rate. Okay, I was,
Correct.
now
That
I see
is
the roll. That's what I was
Just our
missing.
AV value, and the peak was in 2018, and that was a 24.5% increase due to the annexation.
Perfect. Follow up, Mayor?
Follow.
You mentioned a 30-some-odd decrease to our residents. What?
Yes.
Repeat that again for our residents, please?
So based on the 10% increase in the average home value, and everybody's home is going to be different, but this is based on the citywide average, without changing the homestead exemption, their tax bill would go up $128.60. With this increase, we will buy down that increase to $96.40. So it's about a $32 decrease to the increase that they'll see. They'll still
Based
see
on
an
the average
increase.
home value. And
You're using 350 as the average? What was the average?
Our average value based on the preliminary roll is $464,438. So that went up 10%.
Very good. No more.
To approve?
Got a motion by McCutcheon. Do I have a second? Got a second by Lane. You'll vote this time, please. And it passes 7-0. Thank you, council members. 5B, consideration of an action on City of Sugar Land Resolution Number 2318, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sugar Land, Texas, appointing a 2023 Redistricting Advisory Committee to make recommendations to the City Council on the adoption of a redistricting plan. And we have our City Attorney, Meredith Reedy. Meredith.
Mayor, I'm actually going to do a presentation for all three resolutions.
Oh,
So if you
man,
wanna go
look
ahead
at
and
you.
Read those
There we
captions
go.
now, please. Do you want to go ahead and read those captions, or do you want me to keep going?
Keep going.
All right. So, Resolution 2318, this is appointing your committee. We discussed this at your last meeting. So you each picked somebody, then the mayor picked out the chair of those, then he picked two former council members. I think your agenda packet has everybody's names. Are there any questions? If not, you can approve that one. I'll go ahead and let you do that, then I'll read the next caption.
Okay, item number B. Do I have a motion? Motion approved. Got a motion by Kamali. Do I have a second? Second by Watley. Vote at this time, please. A 7-0 vote. Meredith, I would ask that I don't have that in my packet. Can you read those names for us, please? Do you have them?
The chair is Harvey Zinn. The former council members are,
Himesh Gandhi and Mary Von Tungla.
and then we had Bridget Young, and then I apologize, but there were 9 names. If you wouldn't mind telling,
If y'all just go through your members.
Bob Barber.
Bridget Young.
Sue Chang.
Jim Lieberman.
Sahel Momin.
Chris Barnett.
And I had Harvey's in, and Harvey's the chair.
apologize, Mayor.
No, that's no problem. Okay, we got a 7-0 vote. Thank you, council members. Item number C, 5C, consideration of an action on City of Sugar Land Resolution Number 2319, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sugar Land, Texas, adopting criteria for use in the 2023 redistricting process and providing for related matters. Meredith.
Yes, sir. Now that you've appointed 9 members to your redistricting board, you got to tell them the game rules. So these are the rules they must follow when they are selecting how to adjust the districts so that you reach your less than 10% deviation. These are the federal guidelines. You followed them ever since I've been doing this since 1998. Unless you have questions, I'll go ahead and take a vote.
Got a motion by Jacobson. Do I have a second? Second. Got a second by McCutcheon. Vote at this time, please. And we have a 7-0 vote. Thank you, council members. Item number D, consideration of an action on City of Sugar Land Resolution Number 2320, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sugar Land, Texas, establishing guidelines for persons submitting specific redistricting proposals during the 2023 redistricting process and providing for related matters. Meredith.
Yes, sir. Since you all just picked 9 fine upstanding citizens, you do recognize our population is larger than that. So this resolution gives an opportunity for any resident who was not selected to submit their own plan to you for consideration. What this resolution says is they have to follow the same guidelines as the redistricting committee. It must be submitted to you in writing, and they can't just pick their 2 favorite districts. They've got to include all 4. We like equal and participation here. They also have to include the same numbers that the districting committee has requested. The city is happy to provide that data for them. They must conform to those deadlines, and they have the same deadline as the committee you just appointed, August 15, 2023. This will be posted on a website that is being created to inform our residents about redistricting, and in accordance with law, it's published in English and Spanish. And unless you have questions, I'll take a vote on that too.
And Meredith, just to
Yes, sir.
recap, federal law dictates that the 4 districts in terms of population must be equal within 10%, correct?
10% deviation between the largest and smallest population.
Okay.
We like it to be balanced based on minority representation for each district.
And Councilmember Kamali has too many, is that correct?
Yes, he is an overachiever. This based
He's
on
an
the last
overachiever,
census.
that's
Yes,
exactly
sir.
right. And
Gladly give some away.
Councilmember Watley has too few.
She's not working hard enough, yes, sir.
She's just gonna work harder.
Councilmember McCutcheon's just about right.
Yes, she and Councilmember Jacobson are almost right
We're
on
almost
the money.
perfect.
They're
We're
almost perfect.
See, Stuart, we're almost perfect, see?
I wanted
Almost right on the money, yes.
We'll fix it.
to give the council time to gloat a little bit. Do we have a
Motion
do we have
to
a motion to
approve.
approve? We got a motion by Kamali. Do I have a second? Got a second by Watley. The one that's giving up and the one that will receive.
There we go.
And then this is just your proposed schedule.
And I'm not seeing it, Natalie. There we go. It's a 7-0 vote. Thank you. Thank you, Meredith.
Thank you, sir.
Council members, item number 6, public hearing, 6A. Receive and hear all persons desiring to be heard on a proposed change of zoning from Telfair West Commercial District Plan Development, PD, District General Development Plan to Telfair West Commercial District, I think it's probably going to be Final Development Plan, for tract C3A, consisting of approximately 8.426 acres of land located in the northwest corner of Highway 59 and University Boulevard. I'll go ahead and read the consideration. First consideration of an action on City of Sugar Land Ordinance Number 2307, an ordinance of the City Council, City of Sugar Land, Texas, providing for a change of zoning from Telfair West Commercial District Plan Development District, General Development Plan, the Telfair West Commercial District Plan Development District Final Development Plan for tract C3A, consisting of approximately 8.426 acres of land located at the northwest corner of US Highway 59 and University Boulevard. Ms. Laura Waller, our planner 2. Laura.
Good evening. So we're here to talk about the Telfair West Commercial District. This is tract C3A, so it's a part of the original Telfair West District, as well as part of the jug handles that were sold off by TxDOT several years ago. It's this property here you can see both in black and then in yellow. It's currently undeveloped, vacant space, and so we are proposing that final development plan this evening. So just an overview, like I mentioned, it is a vacant property that's currently under GDP Ordinance 2135. That is what incorporated both the jug handle and the remaining acreage from the Telfair District in that single GDP. The FDP proposes 3 single-story buildings and 3 reserves with an access easement. There is a home improvement store proposed for the larger portion of this at the rear of the property. And the text of the document does authorize that home improvement store to use a slightly different parking ratio if it's supported by a parking study that has been reviewed by staff. There is an access easement through the main part of the development that is wide enough to provide both 2 driving lanes, 1 each way, as well as a queuing lane for the coffee shop that's in the retail center. And the PD is in alignment with the land use plan as a regional commercial and services land uses. So we'll get into some more details on that. So the land use plan does call for this as regional commercial and services. This is a little bit different from the regional activity center that you might be a little bit more familiar with. The commercial services is ideal for car-oriented retail and services that include big box stores that aren't appropriate for the pedestrian-oriented activity centers that we would like to see on the other side of the freeway. So therefore, this proposal does align fully with that land use plan direction. So here is a basic site plan of what you'll see in the in that FDP. So as mentioned, there's a large home improvement store here towards the rear of the property. There's that access easement down the middle, as well as a width for a queuing lane to access the the coffee shop that is proposed to go in the retail tenant space, and then also a bank on Reserve B. Landscape plan includes adding additional trees and landscaping around the edges of the property line to help screen the parking lot as well as the buildings from the public right-of-way. This is also written in the text of the document as well. So in addition to this visible exhibit, there's also the text of the document as well. And then the pedestrian and bike circulation plan. So this does connect each of the reserves both to the public right-of-way as well as to each other to make sure that there is access across safe crossing for pedestrians if they'd like to park at one place and then walk to the next. This will be made of contrasting pavement with shade trees and other items to make sure that it's a comfortable walking space for pedestrians as well as bicycle circulation. Also included in the FDP are proposed elevations. These are fairly conceptual. It's primarily looking at the height and the percentage coverage of materials. So it's primarily masonry that's going to need to or be required to match amongst the buildings there on the site, as well as the existing buildings in the surrounding development in that Telfair area. So this is the retail center, and then there is the freestanding bank elevations in that Reserve B. And then the home improvement store at the rear, which is, again, primarily masonry with some textured CMU concrete, which is in alignment with the GDP as well as the other sites that are surrounding this. The Planning and Zoning Commission did hold a public hearing on April 27th. There were no speakers present at that public hearing. The questions from the commission were primarily about access, traffic impact, and queuing in the site, making sure that there's not going to be any backups outside of the site, and it's going to be able to be maintained inside that site. And then after the questions were handled, the commission did vote unanimously to recommend approval of the final development plan to you guys this evening. The public hearing notice and requirements were all met, notification posted in the paper and online, as well as mailers sent out to property owners within 200 feet. There was an online form available as well. However, staff did not receive any inquiries, and we are not aware of any opposition to the FDP. Therefore, staff and commission do recommend approval of Ordinance 2307 for the rezoning to final development plan. We have both staff and the applicant present for any questions if you have it.
Thank you, Laura. I'm going to go ahead and ask council to hold any questions. And we're going to open the public hearing to hear anybody that would like to speak on this particular item. If you'll approach the podium, name and address. Second call. We're going to go ahead and close the public hearing. We're going to move to action, consideration action. Consideration of an action on City of Sugar Land Ordinance number 2307. Any questions from the council? Ms. Shaw?
Laura, we're taking into consideration the widening of University Boulevard to 3 lanes. They have enough land to do all that.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And follow-up would be no entrance off of University and/or 59 access road.
Correct. The entrances are only off of Coatesworth to the north.
And I noticed on the bank, rendering of the bank, there was a drive-through. Is there going to be a drive-through?
Yes, sir. The bank does have 4 drive-through lanes that were accounted for in the TIA that was concurred with for the site.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion by Karmali, second by McCutcheon? You'll vote at this time, please. There we go. And it passed 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Item number 7, City Council City Manager Report 7A. Councilmember Report. Stuart, let's start with you.
Thank you, Mayor. I attended the State of the City of Stafford, City of Meadows Place luncheon, and that was very nice. And Carol and I went to the Rain, which is a tribute to Beatles, at Smart Financial, and we hosted Yokogawa, one of our fine employers.
Jennifer.
I attended the Mayor and Council Association of Fort Bend County with Councilmember Ferguson and Watley.
William.
Mayor, I, with great pride, was at the Memorial Day event on the 29th. There are few things that our city does so well as respecting those that have given so much, and I can't tell you how joyful it made me that entire day as people walked up to me and, excuse my emotions, but walked up to me and said, I've looked everywhere in this region, and the only city that does Memorial Day the way you guys do is the city of Sugar Land. And I was so thrilled to be a part of Sugar Land at any level, as a resident, council, it doesn't matter. But to be a part of Sugar Land, when people say that, it is a great, great privilege and honor to be in this city.
Thank you, William. We'll continue to do that, I promise you. Suzanne.
Thank you, sir. Sunday, May 28th, I attended A Night to Remember. It was put on by the Sugar Land Exchange Club. Doug Earl and Steve Stewart did an outstanding job orchestrating this event on Town Square, where they had patriotic music, and it was just filled with a ton of people. It was a beautiful evening. Cookie Joe's dancers did an exemplary job, so thank you, Sugar Land Exchange Club.
Nishan.
I'll yield my time to Carol.
Carol.
Okay, well, I attended the Pet Supplies Plus grand opening in Telfair, and I attended the Brazos Landing HOA annual pool party, and then I attended the Houston Museum of Natural Science Jingle Mingle, which is a kickoff for the 10th anniversary of the Jingle Tree.
Thank you, Carol. What I'd like to bring to everybody's attention is we're getting ready to have the Sugar Land Space Cowboys going to be back in town. Everybody's out of school now. There's no excuse for not going to a baseball game. So let's get out there and support our Space Cowboys. Right now they're in last place, so they need our support. Mike, item 7B.
Yeah, Mayor, two things. First one, I had the opportunity to go to the Memorial Day event, and what was cool about it, aside from just the event, was seeing everything going on, the pump track, the people getting ready to do the Go Ape, the bikes, then taking the road to the area, just the investment this council and this community has made in that space to make it really a special place, and our outstanding people in our Parks Department. And then as a former intern, our intern showed up last week, and that's always an exciting time to have a bunch of youngins running around. We got some in the audience, right? If you're an intern, could you stand up for us,
stand up, please?
There we go. All right. Thank you. And Mayor, I never made it to the end of a council meeting, so I applaud these two for doing that. So, but no, it's always an exciting time to get interns in with their excitement and fresh views. So that's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Mike. At this time, we're going to move to item number 8, closed executive session. 8A, closed executive session is authorized by 551 Texas Government Code in accordance with 551074 public officers for the purpose of deliberations regarding appointments to and duties of the Planning and Zoning Commission. We're going to recess at this time and reconvene in the council dining room.